Let's see. All right, let's see if I got this. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Uh-oh, I don't even know what that does. What did that do? What's that do? Oh. Filters. Filters. Oh, crap. Carpe diem. Okay. Hold on. What up, super brother? What up? Hold on 1 second. I'm still setting up here. Bam, bam. Disable, enable, remove source, auto find and activate. How you doing? How you doing, my brethren? Okay, there we go. Boom, boom. I forgot what I was doing again. Oh yeah, here. Copy, copy, copy. There we go. All right, boom, boom, pin. Okay, now maybe I can switch this over. Why can I not? Let's see. All right, what is my mode? Reveal capture page. Oh, that's probably what I can do. Hold on. Okay, bam. Okay, I can do that. All messages. There we go. All right, got it fixed. Goal 10. Let's just do an hour. Almost got it. Almost. Oops, can't spell. There we go. All right. Today I make college preparations. Hold on. Let's see. I'm starting a goal. Bam, 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 bam. All right. Today I made my college preparation. What about me? It went awful. What happened? What you studying? Yeah. Sometimes it goes. Sometimes it gets awful. Sometimes it's awful. But listen. Remember, college isn't where you learn how the world works. College is where you learn what they want you to learn to pass tests. You still got the whole rest of the world, the internet, me, anybody else to learn from. So remember, if that doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you can't have the knowledge that's in the college. Sorry. You get what I'm saying? You can all that information is available. And there's a website, it's like, you know what MIT is, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. You can take almost all of their classes for free online, basically. Like you can see all of their stuff. Here, I'll show you. It's called OpenCourseWare. I'll show you here. OpenCourseWare. Right here. OpenCourseWare. MIT. So you can get, and it's free. You can go there and the MIT OpenCourseWare on YouTube. You can watch all of the, like, what would happen in the, I can't remember what they call them. It's all, well, here you go. It's virtually all the course content. OpenCourseWare is open and available to the world. So, and it's all free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay to get information. Yeah, they definitely have hydrogen bombs. Yeah, we've had hydrogen bombs since the 60s. Yeah, the H bomb. Yeah, so the H bomb uses hydrogen at its core, but it uses a what do they call the conventional nuclear bomb in order to split the hydrogen atoms. Yeah, we've had them since the 60s, and China definitely had them too. Yeah, it's a place from where I live. It's a place From where I live, I had no idea what to do because I'm just a normal high school student. Now, listen, you don't get knowledge in school. You get knowledge from what interests you and what you get from the world. Remember, colleges didn't invent colleges. They didn't invent learning. They just monetized it and made it into a business structure. All the information for everything is available everywhere. You can do your own experiments and learn on your own. You just go to college to learn what they want to teach you to pass tests so they can give you something for your time and money. I mean, if it's free where you're at or whatever, but you get what I'm saying. They don't have the lock and key on knowledge. But presently no countries have it, but we definitely do. What up, soldier boy? Yes, sir. Right. And this is what they say. Like, if you look at most great inventors, like even what was his name? Who's the guy that invented all the things to do with peanuts and soybeans? Hey, there's the human resources department. somebody got upset because I made him look bad. There we go. Please end this stream and uninstall the application. I wonder how well that works. I had a guy who's 64 years old and says that college is a cheap certificate that will get you in debt. Right? Yes. Yeah. What do you need college for? All of that knowledge is the stuff that you get. If you don't go to a research facility, a research university, everything you learn is what the researchers found and then published. And then somebody takes that published work and turns it into a curriculum, which is for sale in colleges. You don't need that. You don't need the college to get the information. Who's that? Hold on. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember his name. Hold on. He was a black inventor in America back when black people weren't allowed to go to school. But black people were allowed to go to school. It depends what state you were in. But they say that's whole America. That's a big thing about history too. We learn what we learn in school. We learn what we learn from history in school, but they only tell us what they want us to know. And you learn about it like you can look up female millionaire business owners in the 1800s, and you're like, why are there so many? I thought women couldn't work in America until 1960, till the feminist movement. It's all crap. Everything's crap. Yeah, right. Hold on. So I'm gonna tell you. George Washington Carver. Here he is, George Washington Carver. Okay, let's quote about the Bible. Okay, and look at this. I'm going to show you this. This is interesting. And so this was in like the, let's find out what year this was. When I was young, I said to God, tell me the mystery of the universe. But God answered, that knowledge is reserved for me alone. So I read the Bible. So I said, God, tell me the mysteries of the peanut. And he said, well, George, that's more likely your size. Okay? And then he said, of all the dispositions and habits what led to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Honored God through science. Okay. Here we go. Let me see if I can find this one. And this is why I try to tell people, like, if you look at the world, all the information was got from the world, not from the people of the world. It was people that said, wow, look how whoever created this place did it so awesome. Teach me, let me find out how to do that. And then they started saying, wow, wow, wow. I don't know if this is the one or not. All right, I can't play that. George Washington Carver honored God through science. Okay, but no, that wasn't it. Let me see. About finding. There you go.
And he says here, all my life I have risen regularly at 4 in the morning to go into the woods and talk with God. That's where he reveals his secrets to me.
No,
when everyone is asleep,
hell no.
I hear God's best and learn my plan. So first thing I find out about George Washington Carver is that he was a man of prayer. He was a highly educated man in the world.
In the world.
But he was a person of prayer. He was somebody that sought God in the morning. And he went to God and said, God, what is this? Why did you create the peanut? And he says, he told me, separate the peanut into water, fats, oils, gums, resin, sugar, starch, amino acids, then recombine these under my 3 laws of compatibility, temperature, and pressure. Then the Lord said, then I will show you why I made the peanut.
Right, it's very interesting, and then you look at people. So he made huge things for the world, for nutrition, helping people making plastics from peanuts, and hundreds of other things. And then you have people, like I say, they say all the time. In 1665, Isaac Newton invented calculus, and he says in his book, The Principia, he says, I learned this from God, from asking God, how did you make this? How did you do things? And he was able to discover that. Now we get so far away from, we say, no, there is no God, and we created ourselves. So let's see if we can recreate God rather than trying to figure out how God created things. And that's the thing. Science, like most Nobel Prize laureates are religious. Like 80% of all Nobel Prizes in chemistry go to people of faith. Why is that? But no, I've never been at a Pride March. I wouldn't go to one of them. Even if I was freaking, dude, I'm not interested in all that crap. Bro, most people figure out God doesn't exist right after Santa Claus. Yeah, when they're 13, right? How do they figure it out? How does God and Santa Claus even go into the same category? Bruh. I like garlic breadsticks. Yeah, they good. I'm a fan. Yeah, and I think this is why so many people are so dumb these days. Like why they can't figure out how the world works. And somebody can tell them, oh, you can choose your gender. And they're like, well, that makes sense. Carb curious. I'm a fan. I'm carb curious. Dun. Let's see here. What are we going to get into here today? Let us see. It's 2005, presently 7.8. The night of U.S. is identified as Lebeco. Yeah. I guess so. Right, but here's a big thing. Also, the problem is they keep adding letters on, like so 2A or 2S is two spirit, so that now they can add in people that don't have nothing to do with sex at all. The two spirit were the American Indians. So now they can add them. And they say, look, we're 10% of the entire United States. So they just keep adding people on that have nothing to do. See, remember, LGB used to be the original. And that was lesbian, gay, bi. It had to do with who you were attracted to. Then they started adding other things when they started getting political power to get more political power. They started adding allies and stuff like so people that are like, oh, I'm down with you guys, everything's cool. Now you're an ally. You're not lesbian, gay, or bi, but so then they're like, look, now we're at like that, and that's how they screw up the number. Yeah, witchcraft's real. Yep, absolutely. Ask people that believe in it, and dude, there's a lot of people that do. I have a word twister for you. Harry hasn't had hot honey hash high heel. Huh? Harry hasn't had hot honey hash high heel. Harry hasn't had hot honey hash high heel. But yeah, dude. So if you believe evil exists, and you believe good exists, and you believe like manifestation, prayer, meditation, like all those things, even if you haven't found a religion to rely on, you know that the people that want bad for people have a way to try to make that happen through witchcraft. Would basically be prayers to evil. Would you marry a woman who had a body count of 25? Me? Probably not. They'd need to have like a body count of 80. So listen, there's a difference between being 50 years old and having a body count of 25 and being 25 and having a body count of 25, or 18 and a body count of 25. Like that's freaking. And you have to also understand that the people, how did they treat their body? Did they have rotations? Like, I just want to bang 9 guys at a time, and like that's when things start to break down psychologically. Why did the Vatican get into the LGBTQ? I believe in the non-binary God. Brother, I don't know. Those are the Catholics. Those are the Catholics. I just dropped Sup Doc, both Iran and Dubai. Hold on. They just dropped Sup Doc in both Iran and Dubai. Tell me it's a coincidence. How can one country have Sup Doc capability? How can, listen, first of all, we don't know. We aren't told who's got what, when, why, what. You know, like, we can be told weapons of mass destruction and they're just going after oil. We find out like 10 years later what's really going on. The Salem witch trials exemplified in the 17th century. This is how real. PIMP. Almost got him. I don't know. What up, Robert, brother? I don't know what you heard about me. I don't know what you heard about me. But of it's got all around me. No Cadillac, no palms that you see. I'm a motherfucker PIMP. Do you know a lot? Sup, Doc? What's up, Doc? My wife says I smell like, what up, dog? Dan, 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 dan. First Venezuela and now Iran. Yep. That's yep. So, and then we'll find out as things start to break down, we'll find out that American politicians were making backroom deals with the Iranians and the Venezuelans. It's so obvious. Like, when you look at American political figures that lie and say, no, crime's going down in our city when it's obviously going up. You're like, well, why would they lie about that? Why would they lie about saying crime's going down when it's actually going up? And then you're like, oh, because they're bought out by the cartel or whatever. It starts to get obvious. You got it. Yes, Flower brother. The show must go on. Iran is a good new wave song. And I ran so far away. Yeah, it's about oil. Yeah, right. So here's the thing, brother Smart. Here's the thing. We know it's about oil, right? And there's two things can be true at once. So we know we're going to get the oil. Can we help the Iranian people at the same time, or just blow the whole place to hell and take the oil? So this is the difference between good people and bad people. Bad people don't care at all about it, you know, and they'll drop bombs indiscriminately and kill the civilians. Which I think is good right now is that we have very, 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 very precise munitions and artillery and whatnot. So we're hitting places and like not even blowing up the buildings next to them that could, you know, because when you say war, you know, there's collateral damage in war. So if the Iranian people can get back, if the Persian folks can get back what they need, can you say happy birthday to my dad, Mike? Back in 16th century, Massachusetts Bay, North American region, witchcraft. Yep, that's true. Yep, the Salem witch trials and all that. Yeah, When you sleep at night, if you get scared, remember who you are. Hey man, can you say happy birthday by then? We love your content. I ran Iraq so far away. Can you? I already did, Jovi. All right, war is good for some and bad for others. See, this is the thing about war. It can be a freeing thing. The people that aren't free can be free afterwards, and we can get wealthy off of it too. Or we can kill everybody and get wealthy off it too. Somebody's definitely going to get rich off of it, but do you have to hurt everybody in the process? What up, Katra? Catholics, Orthodox, or the Protestants? Orthodox. What up, Bosnian Squidward? Welcome back, brother. Wonder how you would sound after a weekend by yourself alone in nature. Me? It's a good question. Dude, I would probably hate myself because I talk like this when I'm alone. we not only had an accident today, stuck in heavy traffic. At least mine didn't stop. Traffic was went way too long. Smell Israel. Afghanistan and Pakistan are going to war with each other after engaging in a bunch of border skirmishes with Pakistan declaring war on Afghanistan and China. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see China or Russia joining in. We'll see. But listen, they just want the oil, plain and simple. They just want the oil. I mean, they could have taken out, much sooner. They know that once Iran is taken control of, they will get access to the oil. It'll just be expensive. But if they start wars with everybody else, then they know that we're just going to wipe everybody out. And then the rich people can't spend their money because they'll be dead. Is witchcraft still in North America? Yeah. There's still witches. There's still witches all around. Absolutely. It's still. And this is one of the things people like the people that are so atheist. They don't see any of it. God don't exist like Santa Claus. Okay, cool. All right, then why do people that are smarter than you and more evil than you worship the devil to try to get things, and or spirits and whatnot? Yeah, so do we have any what? Oil? I need eye walk. Favorite color? Blue. Have you ever watched maybe Sinners? No, hold on. That sounds familiar, but I don't think so. Movie Sinners. Sinners. Sounds familiar. No, I definitely didn't. No. I know about it now. Yeah, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I am familiar with it. Won 2 awards, but no, I've never watched it. Blue. Are you done hallucinating? What's up, Space Cow? They sent Supreme Leader of Iran. Yep. Dude, he's rude. You ever read what he wrote about? He told the people that run his jails that if any of the protesters are women, that to grape them before execution so that they won't get into heaven. I'm not lying. War is good. I think it's best. Right. But Katra, if you've got people in a country that are hell-bent on killing you and all your friends, war is going to happen. But what do? Do you let other people that have 1940s and 50s munitions blow up a bunch of the citizens and stuff? Or do you go in with a scalpel and cut the cancer out? Right, both are war, and that's the thing. A lot of people are so, Trump said no new wars. Well, maybe this war isn't new. Maybe this war's been going on for 47 years. Gas stations are social busy AF right now. Yeah, I'm sure, because they know the fuel prices are going up. What's your signature? I knew it, Fakes. Your signature? I knew it. That's it. Insurances for Palestine. No, I didn't vote for Trump. I would now though. But I didn't. No. My wife's granny from AR was my wife's granny from AR. Arkansas? That's AK. What's AR? What's AR? Arkansas, right? Okay, I thought it was AK. Right. Okay, Arkansas AR. Either way, nice. Right, right. We'll take the oil. Right, right. Exactly. If you don't stop killing people, we're going to kill you and take your oil. Right. Like, and that's what's happening. Like, and you'd be like, how dare he? How many more people do you want to die? Like just because they only kill 40 or 50 people with each attack, like out of Iran to their neighbors, and where's the cutoff? I can see Iranian missiles from my balcony. But did you see? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I hear you guys are getting into it in Turkey, my brother. I'm watching the world. People act like a world war happens. It's going to be all the nukes and we're all dead. I think it'll look a little different. Yeah. There's no way. It's not going to be nukes. It's going to listen. We've got precision guided munitions. I don't think people understand how well trained the rest of the world's militaries are, because we're arguing over pronouns for freaking the past 10 years, and these people are getting ready for World War III. You know, like we've gotten too soft. I think there are many Hollywood actors who perform. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. What up, Space Cow? Oh, geez, I'm way far behind here. God don't exist. Religion only lives in ignorance. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, right? You'll get there, the rabbit. Crusades, corruption. People pay to go to heaven. Whatever religion you're talking, you might want to look up some other religions, rabbit. People remember Iran looked like the band ABBA. I'm just saying war isn't necessarily positive. No, right. It's not a positive thing. Right, it's not a positive thing. Neither is shit in your pants, but every once in a while it happens. Hopefully it's not a big deal when it does. Total bullshit. Do you hear the Trump admin? Dude, you sound evil, brother Rabbit. I hope you find yourself some peace, my friend. Did you hear that Trump admin is trying to go after people who smoke pot, saying they can't own guns, charge a guy with a felony because he admitted to smoking pot? Also, I don't know. I haven't heard about it yet. I don't usually stay in the pot circles. I haven't looked. Witches are neither good nor bad. They seem cranky to have to if you have a broomstick on your taint. Which religion, Rabbit? Which religion? Which religion was kept to keep people under control? Which religion? America will pay back all other things after some time. Yeah. They'll make it. Yeah. I speak English. Just like World War II introduced chemical warfare and nuclear warfare, I think III will have some form of warfare. Potentially. I mean, or it might be very short. It might just be boom, done. You know, we'll see. Have separate public toilets. Listen, they got to figure out what's going on for themselves. The problem isn't LGBTQ people. The problem is the bullies that represent the LGBTQ community. That's the problem. AR stands for Awesome Rhino. AK is AK? AZ is Arizona. AK is Alaska. Yeah. Sorry. It's crazy because already insurgency has begun with the most one. Yes, yeah. We just had violence here in Texas. To try to teach kids that it's okay to fail. Yeah, you can't fail unless you try, and when you fail, you can try again. Can you shoot? Amanda Uggenkid, why don't you go back to your own country? Which one? Do a backflip. A black flip. Do you recall the pronouns? Mine's are F, you. You're just justifying American and Israel attack are only two evil countries in the world. What two are those, Shine War? Shine with Star? Which two are those? John Wayne died just to make arms and oil profit. Yeah, it seems like that sometimes. Levitical restrictions are on school sports. Yeah. I mean, listen. It didn't. You have to understand. Young people have to understand. It wasn't always LGBTQIA2A plus. It used to be LGB. The people who you are attracted to, lesbian, gay, bi, and then when the community started to get political power, they wanted to get to above 2%. Or 5% of people in the United States. So they started adding on other people, and things that had nothing to do with attraction to get the amount of people in their party, their now political sliver, to get above 5 or 6% so they could have more political power. That's why it's not the L party and the B party and the G party and the T party. They just keep adding to add more and more people. It's you're just justifying American and Israel attack. There's two. Who are you talking to me? I'm not justifying anything. I'm explaining what's happening. Most refugees in Europe are from American wars. Should Europe ship them over? Something should be worked out, right? Orange Man, good. He's better than frickin' the dead man. That's for sure. I think very reasonable new form of warfare will be AI driven, neurological focused. Everyone has electronics these days, weapons that can be used to devices to manipulate people, and a lot of people are being manipulated through the phone in their pocket. All priestcraft is malarkey. Priestcraft? Yes, going after civilians is a war crime, but it's sense and the people have been above war crimes. Or any crimes. We let people out of jail for frickin' shooting people, like regular crimes. We let people come across the borders, and let those crimes go. Yeah, what have we been following laws? What up, the deal? AK is 47. John Wayne, what have you done today? Hurt a lot of people. What you today could have hurt a lot of people. Somebody ought to belt you in the mouth, but I won't. What movie? The Duke? Which movie is it? The Gunrats. No, not John Wayne. I think he's talking about, Kat, I think you're thinking of Dirty Harry. Check your DNs. I heard some dude saying high schools and preschools need to put a pride flag. Yeah, a lot of them do. Yeah, legalize. I'm down with you, Herbs. Enough of the gender bender crap. Move on from the alphabet soup. Well, and the big problems happening with that is that should be people's personal stuff. Why did it have to get so big? Because they want to start working on wars and stuff while we're all arguing what bathroom people use. We're worrying and arguing and hating each other over what bathrooms people use, and there's people trying to kill us and other people all around the world. That's what you call a diversion. Nixon unconstitutional war is actually cultural genocide rooted in xenophobia. Glyphosate kills left and right wings. That's right. KKK are banned religious practices. I gotta disagree with you there. We gotta work the religious thing out. U.S. is a caste oligarchy system that criminalizes indigenous religions. So which one? Ban them or keep them? In California, it's Iran versus Israel, but America's showing their loyalty. Yeah. It's crazy because some people have said that Iran's going to be the first country occupied by the U.S. since Iraq. I mean, Trump wants to occupy 3 countries as Iran, Venezuela. He definitely wants to occupy Greenland. He gave Venezuela to the Venezuelans, and we'll see if he gives The problem is you're trying to predict the future, expecting to see something. He didn't do that with Venezuela. Or Greenland yet. We'll see what happens with Iran. So far, he said Iranian people take over. I think the Prince of Persia guy is going to take back over. Now, obviously, they're going to have a phone line to the White House. Trump capital punishment, Orange Man. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's done. Listen, I didn't vote for him, and I would vote for if the election was today between Kamala and Trump, I would vote for Trump today. Rainbows were bitches in the 70s, right? Do have some big issues. Yeah, right. And you should. You should. But the problem is when everybody expected him to do bad, and he's done and a lot of good, and it's just like when you start seeing people that are willing to destroy the American people just to make Trump look bad, that's where it's going too far. Like, if we can benefit off of he's already here. If we can benefit off of that and not hurt anybody, why would we not do that? But some people are so anti-Trump, they just want to destroy everything just to make sure Trump gets out of power. The ancient Egyptian god Ra was actually Goa'uld, an alien. He enslaved humans. Yes, let's talk about that. Trump projects on Mexicans. What do you do in real life? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Iran versus Israel, America. Yeah, you already said that. We let ICE tear gas our own citizens for exercise the right to peaceful protest. Katra, come on. Katra, you should know better than that. I thought Libiquita was free. I thought Libiquita was free trial of gay, and Libiquita Plus was the premium family plan. And Iran left and right. Yeah, you already mentioned that. But you're going back and forth though. Iran is fighting alone against 10 nations. Well, they attacked 13 nations. Like, what's going on? I can't even walk. Right. How do we stop them? How are we going to chill and be fellow countrymen again? I don't want to. Right, exactly. We have people that hate their neighbors over who can play in sports rather than, hey, the whole world might be killing each other, so maybe we should realize that we need to stay together. And it's like, now you have people voting one way over a wackadoodle thing. And the big problem now that the Democrats have is they aren't willing to give Trump any guidance at all. They're just saying, step down. Well, we're already here, so now what's the best move from this point? Regardless of what happened 10 days ago, what do we do now? And they're just like, no. Like, well, that's not helpful at all. Why if you weren't in office, somebody better, smarter could have been in office and could be constructive. And that's the problem. We have very, very dumb people in the Republican and Democrat seats that are not helpful at all to anything, except their own wallets. Exodus 30:22-33, condom, bosom, and cannabis. There you go. Now you're going back to religion. If somebody wants to use certain pronouns, name right, and no one ever did. Listen, I'm 49. It wasn't a problem until 2015. It wasn't a problem. No one cared. Trump will take over the world. Just hold people accountable. Well, that's the problem. Is no one's being held accountable. You've got very, very poorly acting Republicans, Democrats, Christians, Muslims, everything, and those own communities aren't holding their own people acting poorly to account. That's the problem. Prince of Persia, the little prince. I didn't. There's a category for Libico to compete, or they compete in girls' category. They want to compete in the men's category when it's convenient, and the women's category when it's convenient. So that's the thing. It's guaranteed. Yeah, me for president. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind rainbows. Somebody has a pride. Someone's in the Libico community. Rainbows aren't all gay, but gay is rainbows. Like rectangles and squares. I arrested for fraud. I like you, bro. You really do, even though there's a huge chasm in our beliefs. I'm not sure how I'm feeling right now. It's all right. Listen. I just try to explain things. I understand the chasm in our beliefs. Absolutely. I just try to explain things the way they are and how I think's the best way forward. A lot of people get all up because they want the past to be different. That's not going to happen. The past isn't going to be different. So what do we do to come together and all profit socially, financially, religiously, spiritually together forward? Whatever you believe, whatever I believe, what do we do? Instead of just, no. It's just like, and that's too much hate. That's freaking straight hatred. We should do a stream on mythology. We can do that. McClintock. I vote for Stalin. Cop killed 10,000 humans for religious practices. Which one? Legalized tree. Dude, freaking what's his face just killed 30,000 people for protesting Iran. Legalized drinking fish. Magic 13 family sound stage. Magic 13 of the 13 families. Magic 13. I'm not sure what that is. I like the first lady is a man. Yeah, gazillions of people. Stalin was an evil bro. Tell me that's a joke. Literally. Bro was a cool... I was. That's how my nose ended up like this. I broke it about 12 times skateboarding. Absolutely. Left and right. I vote for Lenin. Sure, I'm in German. Not important for me. Demolition rats. And listen, there's something going on in the Democratic Party. Like why do they want Maduro returned? And why are they mad that maybe they know more than I know, but why don't they want the Venezuelans to be free and have access to their oil? I understand we'll have more access to it, but if it helps everybody in Venezuela and Iran, if you look at if you look at the Iranian what they're doing right now. They're doing the Trump dance. Tens of thousands of them all dancing, thank you, Trump, kissing the American flag, like drawing their own. And it's like they're very happy that they don't have to be put down. Like people talk about religion, but you have to understand religion is bad when you have religions that are misrepresented to use to control people. Those people aren't even following their own religious edicts. They are evil. They're saying, hey, everybody, we're religious, so we're good, but they're evil, right? And that's the problem. And evil's been allowed to fester for too long. Apparently, we've never been closer to World War III, but there's some absurd theories. What if China invades Taiwan? I mean, both of them are preparing for war for each other. Yeah, right. And they could. Now would be a good time for them to do that. But there's a lot of other war powers, and there's a lot of people joining the United States. 49 years young. What up? I only became a problem when politicians realized they could take advantage of it and divide and conquer literally. Right. No, 100%. And this is the thing. So we know that's going to happen. So so what do we do? Do we make sure we have people that are on the side of the people or the side of just their buddies? We know if you pay millions of dollars to get into office, you're going to help your buddies that got you there, right? And I think more of us are just complaining instead of actually trying to do something. Why don't we run? Why don't you run? Why don't I run? Right? Why we only got these crap people to choose from? Right? Because we're just saying that the only thing we can do is vote either way, rather than saying let's put up somebody else. People dying doesn't matter to you because you're German. I don't think that's what he meant. How are you, brother? Hey, I'm doing good. That's true for a better experience. I've tried it. I grow Angel Trumpet. Trans is arrested. Where would you put them? They go where, depends what state. This is a big thing too. So each state has its own constitution and its own rules. So people outside of America, when they hear about something going on in a state in America, they think, oh, wow, America likes that. No, the states that can have that. And that's the thing about America. You can move to states, but the problem is when people want to make it a federal law. So then they're saying, I want to force what I think on everybody. So you have Democrats and Republicans that they have their own Democrat and Republican states. But you have Democrats that say, no, we want it nationwide. And you have Republicans that say, well, we want this nationwide. And that's when we get into a problem. Richard for president. What up, Brianna? What's something you want to master just to prove you can? Me? I want to see if I can grow my own food supply and be able to sustain it for 1 year. I want to be able to master my farming skills. Do you think China, Russia will join? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's definitely a distraction. Listen. So what I think honestly is happening, I think we have a lot of people in our government, Republican and Democrat, that have ties to Iran. And a lot of that information came out today. And what I think is, why are we letting them kill their people all the time? We know they shut their internet off in the past 2 months, and they just started slaughtering 20 to 30,000 of their own protesters. We have protesters in America that are now saying, no, leave them alone. They're a sovereign country. So is it ISIS killing people bad? Is that also mean the Iranian Guard is killing people bad, or no? And they're saying both things. This is bad and this is good, and this is good and that is bad. So it's people flip-flopping. So they want us to be confused while they do whatever they want. And I think whoever's inside of our government that shouldn't be there needs to get going. Yes, he's a master of distraction. They all are. But who? The problem is, right, he's the master of it and he's good at it. The problem is every politician tries to be a master at it, and some of them are just so obviously bad on both sides of the fence. Not police or something like this. Germany is safe. We won't kill anybody is what you want. I'm not police or something like this. Germany is safe. Yeah, I didn't. If I said something wrong, I don't think. Maybe it's not talking to me. He's a fruit. He's a fruit. He must be gay. Yes, I socially engineer it according to agreed upon democratic principles. Right. Right. But here's a big thing, too. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. And it's weird to see people that have been paid to be in Congress to say our democracy, when we're not a democracy. Right. It's like it's absolutely crazy that they don't even know that America is a constitutional republic, and they don't say it. So do they even like? That's why I think they're just paid to be there to try to milk. And then when they get in office, they raise taxes and they milk as much as they can, and then they send as much of the money outside of the United States as possible, Republican and Democrat. This is what I'm saying. All that needs to go away. What up, Mehmet? What's funny? Republicans are little communists for Trump because communism is full of commitment to the party. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, loyalty, I guess, right? Yep. W Donald Trump. W USA. Absolutely. If you believe this to be true, do you believe we should stay out of other people's business, other countries' business? If you believe that to be true, do you think it could also be true that we are way more in other people's business than we should be, even way before Trump has even thought about running for president? Is it possible that we've been pulling the strings in other countries for 50 years and now that needs to stop? Like, multiple things can be true at once, and that's what I think. Democrat Party acts like hostages. Yeah, it's so freaking cringe. Most skaters live near me are certainly left in middle. Yeah, that's crazy. And listen, but that's usually because that's what the girls are. Most girls in high school and stuff are leftists. So the guys want the girls, so they act like leftists. But then again, 76% of the guys and girls are lying because they don't want to be bullied by the leftists. So that's like, you got to look at everything now. We need Obama back. Looks like he's about to go to jail. Obama just lawyered up 9 lawyers for a criminal prosecution, apparently. So we just found out that he sent $1.5 trillion in cash on a pallet to Iran back in 2008. I need to understand the Democrats working. You need to understand the Democrats working exactly like that. You need to understand, right? Yeah, 1 hour, right? Listen, and like, right, if it had to be done, any other president, Democrat or Republican, would have put a lot of boots on the ground and would have killed a lot of Americans and a lot of Israelis. Trump just cut out the problem, and I respect him for that, because he could have sent a bunch of my friends and family members over to die for the money. I understand that. Thank you. Yes, definitely. Obama definitely killed more people. Go play victim after every single event. Right. Because they understand how emotionally unintelligent us Americans are, and they play us like a fiddle. What up, brother? AJK Power Sports. After that, one Mexican drug lord was gunned down the Mexican army. These small cartel groups trying to take the cartel throne. Right, exactly. It's what's called a power vacuum. Right, the head of the cartel, one of the main cartels gets taken out, and then all the other cartels are like, hey, let's just do whatever we can and try to get back in. No, we definitely don't. Oh, Carter, what's up, brother? If a leaf falls in the forest, it's Donald Trump's fault. That's right. Can I ask, what's the deal? We have a title on. I honestly don't know, brother. I honestly don't know. We need to remove the electoral college system. Well, there's a lot we need to remove. I agree. The biggest problem, and me living in Georgia, I understand this. The biggest problem is the mob and the cartels control wherever there's a lot of big drug sales, like Atlanta, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles. The mob, either the Italian mob or the Mexican cartels, Colombian cartels, whatever, South American cartels, run it, and you pay if you want to win. So that's why, like in Atlanta, Trump is saying, or in Fulton County, Trump is saying the election was stolen, and there's data and they've actually proved that now, that 300,000 votes were fake. And then, but 8 years before that, a Democrat was running for office, and she lost to a Republican, and she said it's because the Republican bought it. So both sides, people that shouldn't be able to buy the vote can buy the vote. So we need to remanipulate the system, reconfigure the system so that they can't be bought. And that's the problem, because no one cares up there. No one cares Democrat, Republican. They change letters to win. They don't care about Democrat, Republican. It's either you're for the people or against the people. And then and remember, you have people from outside the United States that are inside the United States' a political system. And they're trying to, what up, Daniel LaRoche? Oh man, I'm way behind. Obama is not a great person. No. Yeah, he's a great speaker, right? He's a bad person. Yeah, I remember you, brother. Yep, turn to God. This actually feels like the first safe faith middle ground. Pretty qualified to suggest it. Hey, brother. Look up Kansas ban on trans drivers, Richard. They're trying to restrict drivers based on Yeah, so I looked that up before stream. So and I think we talked about this. What they're doing. The problem is they've tried to put their gender on the license, not their sex on the license. And what happened with going back to buying the vote is the people that have different genders on their licenses, they're getting a mail-in ballot, and say their ID says female. They get a mail-in ballot and they say Jim male, and they mail it back in. They vote for whoever they want. Then they show up at a place with their ID, because remember, Kansas, you have to have an ID to vote. So like the SAVE Act that Trump's trying to pass, a lot of states already require it. They're just trying to make it a nationwide thing. So a lot of the people are just saying they're trans to get 2 votes, because remember, you just speak it. You speak it into the air, and that makes you who you are. So now you have an ID that says you're this, but then when you sign a mail-in ballot, you affirm what you are by writing your signature. So people are getting 2 votes that way, and that's why they're doing it. Now, whether you want you can be like Bibi or Donnie Nod, it's not important. This guy's a big strategic and military person, and we should be really happy to have him. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a horticulturalist. I would like to help you with anything. Hey, absolutely awesome. Yeah, I got 8 hens, and I got a little hydroponic setup I'm trying to make bigger, and I've been making my own soil for about 10 years now. But yeah, I'd like some info. Happy little plan, absolutely. We have bigger fish to fry, limiting people to drive. Right. The thing is, they made their license. It was 1,200 people that had conflicting information. They either said they were a woman and they're presenting as a man, or saying they're trans, vice versa. And they have a letter on their license that doesn't match their data. So if their license says female and their birth certificate says male, they didn't get their birth certificate changed, so they have conflicting. But if you listen to the news, they're going to say this demon Trump hates the trans people. No, they're not following the law. And that's the problem. And what do? Do we let them because it's hurting their feelings? No. Why aren't they following the law? Because so they didn't get their birth certificate changed, but they got their license changed. Why would that be? Oh, it's easier to get. No, you can get your birth certificate changed online. You don't have to show up. So yeah, it's all crap. It's all crap. Dude, Leighton Fireman, read up on Jadam. Dude, I know all about it. Is exorcism real? Have you been? I think exorcism is real. Yes. Gays love cucumber and watermelon. Korean natural farming. Yeah, we could look it up. I got to get to the bottom of this. I'm like 5 minutes behind. Black people are not gay. Freaking gawk too. Did you see that Jim Carrey looked like? Yeah, we actually looked that up on the earlier streams. Yeah, it doesn't look like him. I agree. Yeah. Not to mention, there's a ton of evidence that Obama and the whole Bin Laden killing thing didn't even happen. No, and I don't think it did. I think Bin Laden is now dead. I think all that I think when Trump got in the second time, listen, Trump didn't even tell Congress that he was going to war. Why? Why would he not tell Congress? Because he's just an asshole. Or there's a bunch of Iranian JAMA loads in Congress that over the last 47 years, a bunch of the money that went from America to Iran bought people to get into positions of power. Why are they so anti-American? Why are these American politicians so anti-American? It really starts to make sense. Evidence that shows he died a couple of months after the tower fell. Let's look into that. I think he just died. You think Trump's in the KKK? It's actually the opposite, right? The leader of the KKK, Biden, went to that guy's birthday, Herbs. Some people say another civil war might start because of Minnesota. But listen, that's one state. This is the problem with propaganda. I said this the other day. Texas deported 50 times more people than Minnesota with 0 deaths. They're just having a place to put their news cameras to make it seem like, oh my goodness. But the rest of the United States ain't like that. This is the problem with the news. Yes, he absolutely did. He tested, yes. Hard drive? I got a hard drive. Dun, 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 dun. You think that might be true? Do you think the wars and the atrocities in the Middle East progressed? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I agree. I agree. Right, ban both of them. Serious question. Do you use stimulants treated? No, 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 no. I use two things. I use vitamin B12 and vitamin D3. Vitamin B12, methylcobalamin under the tongue, and D3. Yeah, no. Stimulants, I can't think like this on stimulants. I can talk fast, but I can't, I can't keep up with my brain with stimulants. No, absolutely not. I took stimulants for like 20 years. Banning ideologies doesn't work because that's the people pay thinking. The problem with media literacy and companies buying their way around the internet. Right. Our government is too easy to buy your way into. This is going back to my point about the elections. The elections can be bought and sold. You've got people, think about the cartels, the gangs in America, the gangs, the cartels, and the mafia that have been around for 50 years, more for the mafia. And they went undercover and they had billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. What are they going to do with that? They're going to be like, hey, let's start pharmaceutical companies. Let's buy what's that place called where all the gambling goes on? Las Vegas and all this stuff. So you have people that are just telling you, look, you've got to use this company's product. Okay, here's 3 companies: Johnson and Johnson. What was the other one? Pfizer, or who the other one that made the COVID jab? And you had to buy one of these 3 companies' shots because COVID. Well, hey, wonder why that is. Yeah, B12. B12. We run and feel about independent. How do you feel? I would run. I would absolutely run. Absolutely. I wouldn't run as a Republican or a Democrat. No, absolutely not. Yeah. Sorry. You are 50% reasonable and 50% unreasonable. I try my best, my brother. Look, it's a work in progress. I'm a work, that's the thing. We got to get to a common ground. Too many people don't believe that 2 things can be true at the same time. And that's the biggest problem we have, I think. Get your hands off the Middle East and you don't intervene in African dictatorships and genocides. Focus on your mainland. Hey, listen, but like I was just saying, what do we already have? We obviously, from previous presidencies, we obviously have a grasp into other countries' dictatorships and freaking propaganda machines and whatnot. That's all got to be severed, and I agree. But we act like just don't do it again. But what about all the shit that already exists? Right? And then who would all fall? Who would starve? Dude, there's like apparently there's like 70 countries that would starve if America went to zero, if the dollar went to zero. Supposedly Trump has been eyeing Venezuela for quite some time because they have oil. I'll tell you why he's eyed Venezuela. The Dominion voting machines are run out of Venezuela. They're Venezuelan technology. The voting machines that were used to keep Trump from winning in 2020 is why he went and grabbed him. And then they found out the servers were based and the banking was based out in Iran. So I think he's still pissed about that. And now that he's got Maduro, he says, what's going on? They say, well, we got everything running out of Iran. And I don't know this 100% for sure. Like, what I've said was true, the thing about the Dominion voting machines and Venezuela, and I think that's what it's all about. So the SAVE Act is trying to require a passport or birth certificate. Yes. You need a passport or birth certificate to register to register to vote, and then you can use anything that matches that. And the thing is, there's this whole racist thing saying black people can't get ID. Well, why, if you honestly think that black people or women are too dumb to get IDs, why not make it law and let them catch up? And this is how you know everything's fake. They just want illegal aliens to be able to vote. I was wrong on you. You're actually pretty balanced. But hey, no problem. I try my best. Gender is a continuum. You are a stupid AF to reject the science and evidence against this. Sorry, we talking about me? My brother-in-law is a worm for it. But gender isn't the problem. Sex is the problem when it comes to voting. This guy is legit. No, definitely in the middle. A license would have a way to include intersex people. A cat. It's 0.1% of people that are intersex. 0.1. Right? And the problem is the propaganda makes it seem like it's like 20%. I promise you, I'm not lying to you. Well, people have had surgery, other people have proven. Right. But if you're going to have surgery and you're going to have your birth certificate changed, then they both match. The problem is if you can keep buying licenses with different genders on it, you can vote as many times as you want. You can go to each state, and that's the problem when talking about federally. And I look, I don't care. I'm just telling you what I know. Richard, be like, 1, check your blood for parasites. 2, B12 changed my life. 3, I've worked for 20 years in the movie industry. It's what I do, brother. So far, listen, I didn't like him at first, again, but now he's definitely getting rid of a lot of the things that I've known for decades to be a problem. Big thing on the artificial food dyes and the artificial sweeteners. If he keeps doing that, fine. And I understand he's going to get rich while doing it. I understand that. I want more people healthy than sick. As corrupt Congress is, they're supposed to be the ones to declare war. Right, but if they are, if some of them are Iranian operatives and Trump has evidence of that, then if he would have said, all right, let's vote on this in a week, then they would have gotten a week notice. And then what would they have done? Iran would have gotten a week notice. Then what would have Iran done to their own people in that week, and then scattered themselves and left the country and whatnot? That's the problem. Is our government is compromised. Stop. You heard about they found human meat in McDonald's? Yeah. Yes. Human meat DNA. Yes. Yeah. They have slaughtered. Brother, listen. I love these. I don't think they're conspiracy theories. Because there's evidence. Yeah, I agree. I wonder what numbers. I wonder what their numbers are per capita. We can look it up. How far away am I? Okay. Hey! Thank you, BB brother. Hey, dude, look at that. I got what's MYR? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Newt, BB. What's up? That's what I'm talking about. No, they still deserve a vote, and they can get a vote. The point is, that's not the problem that it's 0.1%. The problem is the bad people in the Libiquita party is saying that it's 20%, and we need to change the way the entire government structure works because of this. Just like when people talk about like other things that are so little, but they make it sound so much bigger. And that's the problem. But intersex people have never argued about this. Intersex people's activists that don't even know, just like when you have white people that are activists for the black community, and that's the problem. The intersex people have never had an issue with this for the 40 years before this became a problem. This is what I'm talking about. When activists pick up other people's issues, and then they're like, hey, what can we get out of it? Okay, lion's mane is also a good solid. Lion's mane, yes, nerve growth in the brain, which is a critical we need to get more into health. I think the reason a lot of people are so mad and angry all the time is because they feel like crap. I think a lot of people, I'm an adult, ADHD, information is a mess. Dude, B12, methylcobalamin, and D3 is where... The reason I tell people that all the time is because that's when I realized, after I took that and I did the like, you're so dumb, why didn't you do this before? Then I started looking into everything else. And now my first hour of every morning is my health. Like, rather than just a minute every year, think about, I wonder what supplement I could take. But yes, that's the thing that made me realize, okay, there's something into this. What up, Zumbo? Wish me luck when my dad gets home. He's not the type to yell, but I know he's gonna be upset. He's even upset. He'll be out. He'll be happy. He'll be happy that you're safe. Common ground is something politicians and companies don't want you. No, even though they will have common ground, the 15 seconds a day they're on freaking X or TikTok makes you think they hate each other. But then they're like, hey, how can we make a bunch of money off of the idiot people that you have in your constituency and the idiot people I have in my constituency? That's how politics works. They're they're liars. They know they've got everybody's ear, so they tell them whatever they want to make as much money as they can. What's the topic? Newt. Open topic. What's your honest opinion about American people's voting mindset? Do you think voters see ethnicity comes from? No, and no, absolutely not, and it never did. Listen, in the 90s, no one cared. And this is the thing about, in the 90s, no one called Trump a racist. Trump was the only guy that helped black people run for president back in the day. And so because after Obama, they didn't want anybody to come in. They only wanted to get people that they that's why they put Biden in, because remember, it was the Obama-Biden administration before it was Biden-Kamala. So they're putting their same operatives in so that they wouldn't get caught. And this is what it looks like when they get caught. I want women that change their last name. That's all bullshit, though. It's all bullshit. There's no problem with that. It's no problem to go get the paperwork done. And if you haven't done it already, then get it done. Right? It's like they want to change everything, and they want to be able to cheat just because 7 women have to go get their birth certificates. Get that shit straight. Get it straightened out. It'll be a pain in the ass for what, a half hour? You know what I mean? And this is what I don't believe the propaganda. It's all crap. What up, Zara? It's cold outside. Iranian operators use a delusional MAGA. Iranian operators another delusional MAGA. Are you serious? Were they eating dogs and cats as well? Terp, are you eating dogs and cats? I hope you had a hell of a piss, Arnold. What's up, Space Cow? We need to train AI agents on you. I agree. If McDonald's burgers have human meat in them, I guess it would be cannibal. I guess so. Crazy might seem. I might still eat there. As much as 3 ring at about 80 cents. Yay, I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate it. Iran fighting all these countries is the equivalent of Samuel Hayek fighting the Soviets by himself. He killed 500 of them, by the way. What up, girl? 15 years later, Obama's accused of money spent in the Middle East so early. Yep, he spent a lot. He gave them a lot of money. It just came out about a half hour before I went live. It was 1.5 billion wrapped in on pallets that were sent on C-17s. I think they said it was. Glory to Iran and the USSR. Probably the only one here subscriber is intersexual. Her male on YouTube. I'm just saying, top 10 most interesting. Well, welcome, my brother. In the 90s, no one even cared about Trump. Good days, right? What's up, Borshell, brother? I never voted in my life because I'm not going to vote on someone I've never met and truly don't know. And the problem is, Zara, too many people feel an emotional connection with politicians and actors and rock stars and rappers and stuff. And these people that get paid to talk to lie to you, and that's a big problem. Trump has already sent the Navy out to Iran. They're about the Strait of Hormuz. Crazy stuff. It's going on. Trump is definitely exorbitantly rich and famous in the 90s. You didn't even care about because it wasn't on your phone screen. Right? No, I agree. Yeah. And no one cared. Listen, 300 to 400 hip hop songs were talking about, I want to be rich like Trump. So he wasn't racist back then. It was just it was a joke. Yeah, he was a joke. Yeah, he was an actor. He's an actor, freaking reality star. He still is. Do you know the theory of divine rights of kings is? And if yes, do you agree with it? Basics. Kings are decided by birth. God decides birth. Ergo, kings are decided by God. So if you're talking, the problem isn't with, and I don't know enough about it to I could talk on it a little bit. So if you're talking about the King David's line, and I think that's where it comes from. That's where the kings that descended from King David was chosen by God, and that's about all I know. I've never looked into it enough to see Panna if it went to other kings and whatnot. The C-17 Globemaster. There you go. We have embassies everywhere. Do other countries have a lot of embassies here? Yes. Everywhere we have an embassy, they get one here too. So the way it works is we have ambassadors. So there's an ambassador to Zimbabwe. What up, Borgel? And then there's a Zimbabwean ambassador to America. So when there's a Zimbabwean in America, they can go to the embassy. And other countries. I saw a pic of that pallet of cash. It was crazy. Yeah. You ever tried smoking stick? Yes, sorry. I don't think I have any good options to vote for. I also really don't know who the best to vote for, at least me. Listen, don't vote for Democrat or Republican. Vote for the person. Look up the person. Listen, your local elections are very important. That's how you live. That's how you get taxed, the laws you and your family have to follow, like right here. So look at the people and look at their history. Write down what your values are and look at people. Don't listen to what they say. Obviously, you have to listen to what they say, but not just what they say. You've got to see how they voted previously and what they did in life. Do you think religion influences emotional fabrics of any country? I'm in groups that suggest America should be a Christian country in the UK. Right, so America was founded as a Christian country. It's in our Constitution. And we did it to get away from religious persecution in the UK. I mean, I understand that. I understand people with like-mindedness end up segregating into their own pockets. So why not buy a religion? The problem is not the problem. The thing is with Christianity is the whole of thy enemy thing. So like we let everybody come in around us, even people that will take advantage of us. And then people know that we can take advantage of you. You allow free speech, so we're going to use your own free speech against you and stuff like that. My brain would never allow me to think that far and do an illusion. I'm too logical. So, there's always some good options, but are not represented in the Dem parties, right? The amount of attempts on Trump made. Yeah, right. They want him gone. Think about all the money, the criminality in our government gets from all these other countries and whatnot. And if this so happens, peering into the future, if we don't know this or not, Trump may just be trying to get more rich. But if he knows he's not going to be on this planet for long, and he wants for the next 100 years people talking about how he saved this or that, I think he's working towards a legacy, but that's just how my comment is. It's a cute fantasy, though. There's been a lot of religious turmoil in the UK, a lot. My experience, 70s was great. We all wore American flags, sun visors. Right. Listen, yeah, we didn't have, and everybody respected the army, because the military, because they kept us safe, and people were still old enough to remember the World War I, II, Vietnam. And Korea and all. Also, I leave the UK, vote for different parties. Oh, right. That's okay. That's all right, Zumbo, brother. UK's also a mess. Definitely. You say it. Oxos is oxical. All right. All right. I'm going to take a break for about a half hour. It's cooking in here. I need to get some water. But I love y'all. I'll be back in about a half hour, about 7 o'clock at 6:30 right now. I'll see you all back in about 30 minutes. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.